Well, thank you everyone for being here today. My name is Maria Langholtz, and I am the Communications Director for the 100% campaign. And we are proud to be here today with both Representative Long and Senator Nick Frentz supporting their Pathway to 100% bills. We're here because we know that all Minnesotans deserve a clean energy future, which means clean air, clean water, and a future for our kids where they have the opportunity for healthy, good lives. And you might notice that today you hear some things that aren't typically heard when we talk about environment or climate, and that's intentional. We know that to change everything, we need everyone. So we're going to talk about religion and faith and how those intersect with the need to take action on clean energy and on climate change. We're going to talk about how immigration and climate change intersect. And we're going to talk about how we are building a movement that is beyond just white environmentalists, to be completely honest, and that includes everyone in Minnesota and is about building a future for everyone. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to our first speaker, which is Mohammed Omar, and he can say more about himself and why he is here today.
I hope.
Touch it for 1 second, and then it should come on that bar.
Not quite right yet, is it?
And then broadcast.
You don't have the... There you go. There we go.
Okay. So now we are now. My name is Mohammed Omar, Imam Omar, MohamedOmar. I'm the Executive Director of Dar al-Faruq Mosque, a mosque in Bloomington, and a leader of Muslim Coalition of Isaiah. I'm very proud and happy to be here today with members of my Isaiah family and an environmental movement and union workers. I'm here, and I think most of us here gathered today because we want to leave the world better for our children than what we have today. We need an energy system that gives us the power to live our lives with clean water, bills we can afford, and good jobs that can support our families. It is only in working together that we can create real solutions to the massive challenge of climate change. It is going to take all of us. The threat of climate change is both personal and global. My family in Somalia has been devastated by climate change. Somalia has been ravaged by unprecedented droughts for the last 4 years. This has taken the homes and livelihood of hundreds and thousands of Somalis, and millions of Somalis live in real danger of famine because of these droughts caused by climate change. I can say Somali refugees today are the climate refugees. I'm leading with people across Minnesota and with our elected leaders for 100% clean energy to protect and provide a future for my family in Minnesota and my family in Somalia, and to build a future for all of our families. I'm grateful to be a Minnesotan, where we work together to take on the challenges we face. The gift and responsibility of our government system is that we work together to take the common challenge we face. In Minnesota, we pitch in and care for one another. That's what 100% clean energy is about. Caring for each other and building a future for all of us. Black, brown, or white, rural or urban, every age, we will benefit from a more equitable, more healthy, and more sustainable energy system. We must act for 100% equitable and clean energy. We have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to ensure the well-being of those we love today and to secure the future for our children and grandchildren. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tiger Worku, and I'm a junior at South High School in Minneapolis. I'm Leah Harrell, and I'm a senior at Hopkins High School in the West Metro.
Me and Leah understand that Minnesota can't wait. We as a state can no longer remain apathetic towards one of the biggest issues we face. Our future and the future of our posterity are depending on the courage and leadership of lawmakers today.
We also know that this action must be quick and intentional. As we make our move to clean energy, we have to make sure this future is for every Minnesotan. Black, brown, or white, rural or urban, every gender, every class, every age. We all belong in Minnesota's future.
So here's my story. I was born and raised in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And growing up, I remember playing in the white fluffy snow of winter. And as it began to melt, a little groundhog would pop up and look for a shadow. Based off of his reaction, we'd know that the time for spring had come. Then after spring, the sunny days of summer would follow. And then came sweatshirt season, also known as fall. But after a while, things started to change. Weather became and is becoming more and more unpredictable. Weather is also reaching new extremes. And it is with all of those events happening that I came to the realization that although humans discriminate, the effects of climate change don't. When fires raged through the southern forests of California, class didn't save mansions from getting burned. When tornadoes sweep through the heartland of this country, religion doesn't keep farmers and their livestock from getting hit. When hurricanes flood the deep south, race, political ideology, gender, and age don't act as a giant sponge and dry up the mess, nor does it bring back the people we've lost and the people we are going to continue to lose because of the inaction of lawmakers. And so it is that hindsight that me and the people standing behind me are dedicated to fighting for and passing 100% renewable energy bills on behalf of all Minnesotans.
When I started hearing the words climate change floating among my peers during my weekly Earth clubs at my high school, I questioned what that term meant for Minnesota. The sea level has not risen to my doorstep. Forest fires have not engulfed my neighborhood canopy. And the hurricanes have not beaten down the walls of my home. Yet my peers helped me recognize the localized impacts of climate change. In the mere 18 years that I have lived in Minnesota, I've witnessed it becoming more common for thermometers to climb to extreme highs and plummet to extreme lows, threatening my health. I've witnessed the staple crops of our state become vulnerable, threatening my food security. I've witnessed increasingly strong precipitation events damage public and private infrastructure, damaging my community's economic growth. This is the reality, and the reality is threatening my future. My Earth Club also helped me recognize another aspect related to climate change, the growing movement of youth fighting against it and who are not letting their age define what they think they can achieve. Like Tiger and hundreds of others, I've stepped into this leadership role out of the necessity to protect the life ahead of me and the lives around me. We will not tolerate inaction because we can't wait. We must work together to achieve progress because it is not a Democratic future or Republican future. It is just our future.
Youth from across the state are united. Climate change affects us all. Now our state must come together to build solutions that work for all Minnesotans. Doing nothing is not an option. We must now fight for 100% equitable and clean energy. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Dora Norton. I'm from Bridgewater Township in Rice County. A township supervisor for a dozen years, a member of Isaiah and St. Dominic's Catholic Church. I support this bill and want to thank the committee for allowing our Minnesota scientists to talk about the impacts of climate change on Minnesota. And as I listened, I recalled joking with my fellow supervisors that 100 years ain't what it used to be, and also standing at the bottom of a road ditch and looking at our truck and 6 inches of packed gravel and 6 feet of nothing. And of a twisted culvert that should have had another 15 years of life. And standing at the top of a road that was stripped down to the cobbles and a pile of freshly laid gravel at the very bottom. It's water, and it's wind, and it's weeds. And the last couple of years, we've had to spend resources on fighting invasive wild parsnip on our roadsides. For small communities, climate change is financial death by 1,000 costs. Pope Francis, in his encyclical Laudato Si', urges us to hear both the cry of the earth and the cry of the poor. And at a forum a couple of years ago, I learned that low-income folks pay 2 to 3 times what the more fortunate of us pay. It seems like this bill has a one Minnesota approach, aspiring to leave no tribal member or Section 8 renter or poor rural family or displaced worker behind. And while it takes more than energy generation to even the playing field, this bill attempts to be fair. I was happy to see the House committee's name be both energy and climate, but every committee needs to tackle climate change. Every legislative department or administrative department needs to tackle climate change. We're all in this. I hope that this House bill is passed, that it finds a Senate companion, that Governor Walz approves this session, and that we move on to the 1,000 other things that we need to do to make an energy transformation here in Minnesota. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Misty Babineaux. I am a climate justice organizer with Minnesota 350. I am a mother. I was born and raised here in the great state of Minnesota, and I'm a citizen of the Red Lake Nation. I got into fighting for a swift and equitable transition to renewables because protecting the sacred and defending my relatives is embedded in my DNA. And I needed to make sure that the voice of my community was in those rooms when this legislation is being talked about. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get this transition right, to dictate our energy futures. Minnesota's farmers, indigenous communities, communities of colors, and those struggling with health impacts and problems are already feeling the impacts of climate change. As we make the transition to clean energy, we must strengthen communities impacted by pollution, climate change, and our transition from fossil fuels. And we are already building a new clean energy economy. We must make sure this economy includes everyone, black, brown, or white, rural or urban, every gender, every age. We all belong in Minnesota's future. All Minnesotans deserve clean water, clean air, and a stable environment, both now and for the next 7 generations. I'm optimistic about where this legislation can take us, and I know that it's just the first step. I look forward to working alongside Rep. Long and Senator Frentz and other supporters of this legislation, oh my God, sorry. I'm so nervous. Of the legislature to make this bill a reality. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Emilia Gonzalez Avalos. So bear with me. Emilia, E-M-I-L-I-A, Gonzalez, G-O-N-C-A-L-E-Z, Avalos, A-V-A-L-O-S. I'm the executive director of Unidos Minnesota. We are an organization that builds power for racial, gender, and economic justice in the Latinx community. I'm here to encourage all of us, and especially elected officials, to take once-in-a-generation opportunity to get the transition into a safe, clean, and locally made energy Minnesota together. The most recent census found that immigrants, while account for 12% of the national population, made up nearly half of all scientists and nearly 70% of men and women entering STEM fields from 1995 to 2006 were immigrants. It should come to no surprise that immigrants and our sons and daughters born in Minnesota will help drive the transition into a cleaner and sustainable Minnesota for everyone. America's young scientists, engineers, and environmentalists, especially the ones drawn to industries like green and alternative energy, oftentimes speak with an accent like me. But also like my husband, Daniel, who is close to earning a solar and renewable energy degree from Century College here in White Bear Lake. So shout out to Century College. Both Daniel and I came to Minnesota as children. I came myself when I was 12 years old to reunite with my father. And Daniel left his hometown in Guadalajara after becoming an orphan at age of 10. We have been in Minnesota long enough to understand and feel the impacts of a changing climate. Not only we familiarize with snowy, cold winters and humid summers, but we'll also experience the development of health problems never seen in our family history. My husband, Daniel, himself has developed severe asthma and allergies, both health conditions relatable to climate change. But also as working class people, those conditions create everyday challenges in our pathway to seek prosperity and self-determination for our family, including our 3 children. The future of our state is dependent upon addressing 2 critical challenges: stopping the spread of global warming and its devastating effects in our ecosystem, and creating the next generation of jobs. Minnesota's pathway to 100 not only represents a clear vision to reclaim our place as a clean energy leader in the nation, but also continues the building of a Minnesota, like our peers have said, Black, brown, or white, rural and urban, every gender identity, every age, every cultural background, but also every nationality, we all began together to shape Minnesota's future. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. For those I have not met, my name is Nick Frentz. I'm the state senator from District 19. I live in North Mankato. I want to start by thanking you for coming and applauding the advocates and speakers, especially our young people. The people of this state and this country are going to ask very soon, what did we do about climate change? And the question is no longer, how can we do this or that, but how can we not? 20 years from now, they'll look back on today, I hope, and say that was the start of a new direction. And I join with Representative Long in presenting the legislation in the Senate. It's Senate File 850. And I just want to say, look at where we've been. In 2007, when the last mandate was passed, people said, you can't do that. It's going to increase the price of electricity. The price of energy went down. In 2007, they said, they're going to cost us jobs. The number of jobs created in our clean energy economy is over 50,000. Think what we can do in the next 25 years. And the biggest one, and it is personal for many of us, climate change is a hoax, they said in 2007. That ship has sailed. We have an issue that we can address all together, and we should. This is a problem that we all share, and our solutions are going to be collaborative and all together, and this bill is exactly what we should do as a state and as a nation, to send a message that we are willing to be part of the solution. Now, I'm a Greater Minnesota legislator and very proud of that, and I want to say a few things to my friends and neighbors from Greater Minnesota. This bill is good for us. We will put solar and wind on southern Minnesota farms. We will have northern Minnesota opportunities to build local electric generation and local energy efficiency. We will create jobs across the state, and that will be great for all of us. Where I live in North Mankato, I'm a member of Benco Electric, a classic and very well-run rural electric cooperative. I've talked to the executive director 3 times in the last week. This will increase the base load. We are going to drive electric generation. We are going to drive efficiency, and this will be good for Benco. It will be good for investor-owned utilities. It will be good for munis. We will do this together, and we will see jobs, we will see energy efficiency, and we will reverse the carbon production that we've got until we reach the goal of this bill, which is to become carbon-free in our energy generation. To those that say, well, this is too aggressive, I would make a few points. If you look at the resource plan submitted to the Public Utilities Commission, we are simply amplifying what the producers have already said they're headed towards. We have, for example, Xcel Energy talking about plans in Colorado that are not very different from the goals we're setting here. We're talking about joining with our utilities and joining with our energy producers to put an aggressive, bold statement out there that says Minnesota is going to lead again. And I look forward to joining everybody up here. Finally, I would say, where will we be in 2050? Well, I'd love to be still here in the Senate, but maybe that's a little bit of a stretch. Our children and our grandchildren are going to say, what did you do about climate change? What do we want to say as a state about the actions we took and the commitments we made? This file and the file in the House say we made a commitment to address climate change when others in leadership would not. And that will not only be good for us in climate change with energy, but to reestablish Minnesota as the leader that it has always been meant to be. And I look forward to joining my friends, my co-authors, Senator Housley, Senator Eaton, Senator Marty, and Senator Klein in the Senate. And I want to introduce to you now the author of the bill in the House and a driving force behind this legislation, Representative Jamie Long. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before I make my remarks, I just want to thank the colleagues who have come out today. Thank you, Senator Frentz, for his leadership in the Senate. We've also been joined by my state senator, Senator Dibble. Thank you for being here, and Senator Klein as well. Thank you for being here. And we have a large number of House members who have supported the bill. First, I want to thank Chair Wagenius for giving this bill its hearing today. We also have Representative Morrison, I think, back there. We have Representative Herr, Representative Acom, Representative Mann, Representative Brand, Representative Bierman, and Representative Howard here today. So we've got a strong coalition of folks who are behind this bill. We introduced the bill. We have a clone now. We have up to 38 co-sponsors, and so we're feeling some good momentum. And today we had our very first hearing on 100% clean energy in Minnesota. We had overflow capacity. We had 3 dozen people who were waiting outside because they wanted to testify, and we're coming back at 4:30 to hear more testimony because so many people are passionate about this issue and understand the impact. And it's not hard to see why, because in Minnesota, we are seeing the impacts of climate change more than any other state in the country. That's what our scientists are telling us. They're telling us that within the lifetimes of our children, I have a 5-month-old daughter. Her name is Elsie. It's hard for me to talk about it and not get a little bit emotional, but by the time she is 50, we will know whether or not there are going to be forests in northern Minnesota. We could be a state that looks like Kansas rather than the Minnesota that we know and love. That is a reality that we are facing in the lifetimes of our children. So this is something that is very real to us, and it is very real to our youth, and I want to thank our youth who spoke at our hearing and who spoke here today. We are seeing health impacts in Minnesota that are real. Our doctors are telling us that there are increased Lyme disease, that there's going to be increased risk of heat stroke, that there's going to be increased health impacts from the natural disasters that we're seeing as a state. These are changes that are happening now. And the international scientists, the best scientists in the world who are working on climate change, tell us that we have 12 years to make a real impact on climate change, or it's going to be too late to avoid some of the worst impacts of it. So that is the challenge that is facing us. But the good news is that as a state, we know how to do this. As Senator Frentz said, we passed the 2007 Next Generation Energy Act. 25% by 2025 sounded really ambitious at that time, and we met that goal last year, 7 years early. So now it's time to set our sights a little bit higher. And we also know that other states are out-competing us in clean energy. Iowa, just to our south, has more wind production than we do, and we have more wind potential. That's not right. We should be stepping up. We can't let Iowa win. We know that other states are moving forward towards 100% clean energy. There are 3 other states in this country that have already made this commitment. So we're not going to be the first mover, but we're by sure not going to be the last. We are going to be moving as fast as we can towards clean energy. We heard this morning in committee a McKnight Foundation report that said that if we could get to 91% clean energy in Minnesota, we could do it saving consumers money, creating 50,000 new jobs, and we could do it reliably. So we know that there's a path to do this. We know that we have utilities like Xcel Energy that have stepped up and called for 100% clean energy. So the time is now for us as a state to step up and set a new clean energy target for our future, for our children, and make sure that we are pushing as hard as we can towards that. So thank you all for being here, and I think I'll have Maria come back up.
Thank you again to all of the speakers today. I think we made it clear that this issue does impact all Minnesotans and that it will take all of us to form the solutions that benefit all of us and create the stable future. We have some time now for questions. If any
Senator Frentz, can I do that? Sure. Your chamber is the tough one. Senator Gazelka told me that he doesn't think this is realistic.
Well, I appreciate that. First of all, I want to thank Senator Housley again. This is a bipartisan bill in the Senate with bipartisan authorship. For those of you who follow this kind of thing, Senator Housley also was a co-author with me on my 2017 Renewable Energy Standard bill. So I'd like to have the opportunity to have a hearing on this. I'd like to have us present, not just for the Senate and my colleagues, but for Minnesota, to say, here's the reasons this is good policy. And I'll talk to Senator Gazelka and use my considerable political weight as a freshman in the minority to see if we can do that. And I think advocates like this and people in the districts will contact their senators and say, hey, what do you think about a hearing here on Senate File 850? Isn't this good policy? And maybe more to the point, why can't we have a hearing? Why is it that it's not a good idea for Minnesota to have people come forth like they did in the House this morning and testify? Having said that, I'm not the committee chair. I'm not able to make those decisions. And so my role in this as chief author is to advocate as hard as I can and to try to bring Minnesotans forward, to talk to their senators and see if maybe we can convince some people to take a second look.
Representative Long, Republicans have also said in light of the cold snap that they need reliable base load power. And several of them have said that's why we can't go to renewables because of the weather extremes we just went through. What's your response to that?
Well, it's a great question. So I'm not an engineer, but some of the best engineers who've looked at this have said you could actually have a more reliable system if you're moving towards a renewable and clean energy future than you have now. And one of the reasons is we're going to be bringing resources online like battery storage, like demand response that are actually more flexible than some of the resources we have now and can respond to some of these issues. In 2014, there was a polar vortex in the Northeast, you may recall, and at that time, coal and natural gas plants were the ones that were impacted. The coal piles actually froze. Some of the boilers for the natural gas weren't able to work. They froze up too. Cold weather is not good for any energy resource, but there are ways that we can move towards a clean energy future that the best engineers I've spoken with say can actually make it more reliable for our future.
Senator Frentz, are you working to get more Republican co-sponsors onto this bill at this point, and do you think that might help get you a hearing?
Well, yes, I am, and yes, it would. As you know, in the Senate, we're allowed up to 5 authors. Senate File 850 has those 5 authors when Senator Marty, Senator Eaton, Senator Klein, myself, and Senator Housley are included. I've already had people ask me about a clone bill, which would basically mean the identical bill authored by different members. And so I'm optimistic. We just really want a chance to talk about it. And of course, if we have additional Republican members who express support, Senator Senjem, for example, went on the renewable energy tour with me and other members of the delegation in 2017 to Germany, and he has a bill which would, in some ways, help us prioritize renewable. I've talked to him about it. I was not able to get him to be an author of the bill, but I'd love to have his support. And for my fellow Southern Minnesota senators, we're talking about things that can help our farmers. So that's part of our approach to it, is to say this is good for greater Minnesota. Stay tuned.
Leaders in your chamber say they'd rather have a carrot and a stick than a mandate. Is there any compromise where you create incentives to eventually get there, or water down the 100% to get it signed?
That's a great question, and my answer is yes. I think there's always room to compromise. I mean, who are we kidding? We're doing this for the whole state. We need to work with XL and investor-owned utilities. We need to work with munis and rural co-ops. And if they came forward and said, hey, what about a different approach? By the same theory that says we were asking for a hearing, we should be willing to listen. There's a lot of listening needed to do a good job in the legislature, it turns out.
And I'll just add, we, as a state, are meeting our clean energy goals, but we're not close to meeting our greenhouse gas reduction goals that we set in the 2007 bill. And so we need all hands on deck and all good ideas to figure out how we're going to achieve that. We know that the utility sector is going to play a really important role in meeting that, but we also have to talk about the transportation sector, the agriculture sector, industrial sector, figure out how other parts of our economy can chip in and make sure that we're all moving towards meeting the goals that we've set.
And a follow-up on that, would you be open to incentivizing instead of mandating?
Well, I think I'm open to any conversation. I think that we need to hear from, we have half our testimony this morning. We have another half coming back this afternoon. And so really looking forward to what folks have to say about the bill. What I'll say is that we know that in a business as usual scenario, if we did nothing, we'd get a little cleaner, but we're not going to move as fast as we need. We're not going to transition to the clean energy economy that we know we need. And the other piece of it is, right now we're sending $13 billion a year out of state to buy fossil fuel energy. We don't make any coal or any natural gas here in the state, but we do have plenty of wind and solar. So we're actually able to bring those jobs back, and we can create a ton more jobs in the metro, in southern Minnesota, all across the state that are really going to benefit Minnesotans.